Okay, here I'm going to do a few explanations of different things which I would want you to bear in mind when fixing certain things. Okay, so here what we've done is, this is the skirt part, this is the underlining of the skirt, and basically what I've done is I've stitched it, I've overlocked it, and I've finished it off, including doing the finishing on the hemline. And that actually needs to be finished off completely, because later on, once all the garment is assembled together, it's going to get extremely heavy, and it becomes quite difficult to handle. So whatever you can finish off prior to even the pressing, I would press this once and get all these creases out, and also have these side seams settled down. So the first thing I need to do, the next thing I need to do to this is press it so that it's all shaped. The same with this top layer. I've trimmed it and I've also pressed it, and it's all finished off. This is the top skirt. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I've prepared the border, and this is going to be the border. It's a mint color Banaras fabric that I've used as the undertone, and then on top of that I've laced this over, and then I've centered it and I've pressed it, and where I've crease lined it I've put the next bit of lace on. So that's all finished off. The thing that I'm going to do is now I'm going to stitch these two, right side facing, you know, both the right sides facing upwards, and I'm going to do from the top side of the chiffon, I'm going to attach all the trim to all the side of the, and then trim, you know, top stitch this, finishing it off. And what that will leave is basically the bottom lace exposed, and the layer of the lace exposed, and the small amount of the Banaras fabric that I want showing also. So again, I know sometimes it becomes confusing trying to understand what I'm saying, so I'm going to explain that again. So just pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to start off this with the forget the bottom lining for the moment, because we want to finish this off completely. So this is just the skirt. What I know is that, you know, what I've done is I've slightly curved it, and this is going to be the waist, you know, and these are the corners. So going down from that, I'm going to start a sort of line in from there, and place this facing upwards, and leave about 4 inches of space there, and I'm going to start attaching this, and I'm going to run this seam all the way, and it's about 4.5 yards of care on this. So once I've finished the initial stitching, I will pick that wrong side, good job, we realized. Make sure to be aware of this. So it's the right side of this facing up and the right side of this facing up. You're leaving about 4 inches of space. You're stitching this with the chiffon on top, and this going all the way around. Now when you finished stitching this, and when you come to an end, before you finish off and you've got about 4 inches left on that side, connect these side seam so that when you turn this over, all that seam will come on the inside, and then it's basically just a turned over space. So we're going to finish that off, and once we've attached all the trim, we're going to attach the skirt part and the trim together after pressing that and getting it into shape. Now the top portion of this is the bodice, and the bodice has been finished off. Also the sleeves have also been finished off, and I've overlocked and finished all the sleeves, pressed them and so on. I've overlocked and pressed this. The next thing I'm going to do is attach the sleeves to the upper portion and overlock that and finish that, and then the final part is going to be attaching the skirt part to the bodice, and that will be the garment completed. So that way you're handling the fabrics together, you're handling them as little as possible. The only time when the full weight of the fabric is going to be in your hands is whilst you're stitching the skirt and the bodice together. don't leave the border attaching the border to last, because then you're dragging the full dress and it's a very big gear and it becomes very difficult. Also overlocking and so on, it can become extremely difficult once you've got the whole bulk, you know, even doing the sleeves and so on. So on this, it's all completely finished, and I'm going to just run a stitch to combine the two lining and the top portion of this together on both the sleeves. Also, I'm going to do a stitching to tack this down, because as I've mentioned in the previous videos, what I don't want is the sequence fabric overhanging onto the lining, above the lining, because I want this lining to catch in the overlocking but not the sequence part, because that can cause a lot of discomfort.